Okay.
It's on paper. It's on paper.
Right, we're locked in.
You said Italy. We've gone wild on this one. Germany.
Your favorite, Andorra.
Dublin.
Ginger Rogers.
It wouldn't be my guess.
One save point.
Now we feast.
The Inquisition. Hello, and welcome to The Inquisition, a quiz podcast for general knowledge and trivia lovers everywhere. I'm your host, Luke Ryan. Each episode, our players battle it out to see who will be the masters of the Inquisition. So let's meet this week's players. Their team names will be types of transport. So team one is Tejas and Amanda. Welcome back, guys. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good, thanks.
Cool. And what type of transport have you chosen?
Bike.
You've gone with bikes. Environmentally sustainable option.
Yes.
That's nice to see. And on team two, also returning players, Joel and Danny. Welcome back, guys. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Thanks.
Doing well, thank you.
Cool. And what mode of transport have you chosen?
Taxi.
That sounded like a bolt alert.
Make that silent.
Taxi, so not as environmentally friendly.
We both came by a taxi.
Okay.
So you guys didn't ride, did you?
No, came by metro and bus.
Yeah, boss.
So it's you better than us.
And before we do get started, do you have any kind of favourite long journey or favourite way to travel on a long journey?
I love trains. Yeah, it's actually one of the things I love about Europe is that I mean, of course, we have trains in India as well, but it's just in Europe, it's just the diversity of like train operators and like just I love the whole night train thing.
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it?
One thing I wanted to do quite badly, but I haven't been able to because I haven't been to Switzerland yet, is take the Bernina Express that goes.
Yeah.
And apparently it's quite expensive, but also apparently it's quite beautiful. And yeah, so I love the train journeys. The longest I think I've done is I think 14 hours from Vienna to Venice. Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else? Any favourite journeys or types of journeys?
Yeah, I would say train as well. Being an American, trains are quite a novelty here in Europe. Amtrak is pretty horrible in the US. But I recently did a March Madness style bracket for transportation types in my group of friends, and
Okay.
I'm happy to say train won.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And the taxi team?
Train.
Train.
Yeah.
It's a great way to travel, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I like planes as well, but yeah, the experiences with budget airlines recently has not been the greatest. So yeah, no, trains are good fun.
Yeah.
I've grew up in the US, and so driving everywhere all the time, and I moved over here kind of partially to get away from that. But when I go back to the US and we take a long car journey, I think just the fact that I haven't lived there for so long, it makes it really special, and I'm seeing it through my wife's eyes and my kids' eyes. And I love taking long journeys in a car across like the west of the US. And I would never have said that if I had not left the US.
That would be cool, because a lot of long journeys in Europe, you're just on a highway that looks like every other highway. And I think that's also like great about trains, is you see parts of the world that you'd never normally see. Even like the train from Prague to Brno, like, I don't know, it's about an hour out of Prague. There's that kind of like graveyard for old military vehicles or something like that.
So what you managed to do was take my conversation about cars and turn it back into trains.
Yeah, because trains are the best transport. I think
outnumbered.
collectively.
Sorry,
Outgunned.
What I mean though is I think the car journey like that in America is different to the Europe.
Yeah,
You would
I agree.
all the Americana that you would see. Europe is just like anonymous highways now.
Yeah.
And I think I would be all for a long car journey in America.
In the West, especially, it's great.
Yeah.
We started off with like that place that has the Cadillac Ranch.
Yeah.
That place is cool.
Yeah.
But you can't drive to it.
Anyway, let's start this quiz journey. We'll start with round one, back and forth. Each team gets 5 individual but related questions on a variety of different subjects. 2 points for a correct answer, -2 for a wrong answer. But you can pass to the other team. You won't lose anything. They can answer for 1 risk-free point.
We're not cheating on each other.
That's the first time that's ever happened. Yeah. Someone's actually put a blockade up. Is what's happening in the world? Is that really? Tariffs, barriers.
Yeah.
Right. This is should be a safe space for quizzes everywhere. So this episode is called Ostrich, so your first couple of questions will be Ostrich related. So team 1, Bike, Amanda and Tejas. The common ostrich is native to which continent? The common ostrich is native to which continent?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's Africa.
You are correct.
Yeah.
It's one of those questions that makes you think, oh, maybe is it Australia or Africa?
Yeah.
Okay, it is Africa. And Team 2, Taxi. What is the diet classification of the common ostrich? As in herbivore, omnivore, carnivore. What is the diet classification of the common ostrich?
Eat small.
Worms and stuff.
Don't think so.
What does it eat?
Well, it's got a long neck, so probably eats stuff up high. Bees.
I thought you said beets.
No, beets. Yeah, it is beets.
No.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have to push you for an answer.
We should not take it.
All right, we'll give it to them.
Yeah.
You're going to pass?
Yeah.
Okay, Team Bike, what classification? 1 risk-free point?
I have no idea, but it's risk
yeah.
free, so just.
I would just say omnivore because it probably eats bugs.
You're going to say omnivore?
Yeah.
You are correct, it is omnivore, 1 point.
We didn't go for it.
Yeah, but we. Yeah.
Okay, Team Bike, question 2 to you. What are the 3 basin countries of the Ionian Sea? The 3 basin countries of the Ionian Sea, the 3 countries that surround the Ionian Sea on most of its sides.
Yeah, I was thinking around that region, but.
What's on this side across from
That's
down here?
nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay, and
nearby.
then we need all 3.
Pardon?
We need all 3.
You need all 3, yeah.
We have to get all 3.
Let's
Yeah,
pass.
obviously.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah,
it's
we
not.
pass.
Yeah, then.
You're going to pass?
Yeah.
Okay, Team Taxi, 1 risk-free
Yeah,
point.
I mean, it's,
We're just deliberating with the Ionian because it's the Adriatic, but is it down further? So, Greece, Albania, Montenegro.
Incorrect. You're very close. Greece, Albania, and Italy.
Oh, because
Italy.
it's
It's
way
further
south.
down, yeah.
Okay.
I think Montenegro will be on
It was
the
on the other
Adriatic.
side.
oh,
Yeah, so we've gone
yeah,
the
that was
opposite
just
way.
Cyprus.
No,
Yeah,
we're going the
it's-
right way. We're just too far north.
Okay, question 2 to Team Taxi. Which 2 countries are separated by the Kattegat Sea Passage? Kattegat. Which 2 countries are separated by the Kattegat Sea Passage?
I don't recognise the name at all.
I have no idea what this is.
I think we should pass it.
Never heard
You're
of
3
it.
points then.
I would say pass.
Yeah, we're going to
We're useless today.
Yeah.
You're going to pass? Okay, Team Bike, 1
Let's
risk-free
take a
point.
stab. What's in Southeast Asia or South Asia?
Because the word Ghat, it sounds like something Southeast
Yeah.
Asian, but I mean,
India and Sri Lanka?
sure, I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think it's correct, but
it's like
I'd say
really
yeah.
far apart.
Yeah, it's
so
just
I
a
don't
guess.
know
Yeah,
what else,
India,
yeah.
Sri Lanka. I don't
India,
think
Sri
it's
Lanka,
not
incorrect.
Yeah.
And Joel, I think you might have written it. You wrote something down there, Joel. What did you write?
Sweden, Denmark.
You would have been correct with Sweden and Denmark.
The Danish
Yeah.
snuck in there.
Yes. I would have been happy to do that if it wasn't risk free. If it was risk free.
Okay, question 3, Team Bike. In rugby union, how many players form a scrum? In rugby union, how many players form a scrum? Danny,
I
Danny
think
don't
we
come
should
from a
pass
rugby
this
playing
because
country.
Yeah,
I
we-
honestly don't.
We pass because
yeah.
we're not going to know.
I'm not a rugby guy at all.
Okay, you pass. Team Taxi, 1 risk-free point.
It'd be 3 front row, then there's the flankers. I think it's 8.
I agree.
8.
8, you are correct. That is 1 point.
Yeah.
I was
And,
like a 7.
Team Taxi, your question 3. In rugby union, which number is typically worn by the hooker? Which number is typically worn by the hooker? Not that kind of hooker, Joe.
This thing.
2.
You are correct. It is number 2. That is the guy who takes the line out.
Does somebody get to wear one?
Yep, 1 to 15.
No, but is one tied to a specific position?
Yeah.
Like,
In rugby, yeah.
all the numbers are tied to specific positions?
Yeah, so
That's
like
great to know. Thank you.
15
I will
is-
look it up, yeah.
15 is fullback, for example.
Okay, that's
So, yeah,
great trivia knowledge. Okay.
So it's very consistent. Okay, Team Bike, question 4. Which month features in the NATO phonetic alphabet? Which month features in the NATO phonetic alphabet?
I'm pretty sure it's this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course, yeah.
November.
You are correct, it is November. That's 2 points. And Team Taxi, which unit of weight features in the NATO phonetic alphabet? What unit of weight in the NATO alphabet?
Kilo.
You are correct.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Kilo is correct. That is 2 points. And last question of the round. Team Bike. What are the genetically engineered robots called in the film Blade Runner? The name of the genetically engineered robots.
Replicants.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice one.
You are correct. 2 points. And last question of the round to Team Taxi. Which species serves as the main antagonist in the Alien films? Which species serves as the main antagonist in the Alien movies?
Xenomorph.
You are correct. It is xenomorph. So, at the end of the round, each team has picked up a score of 7, so it's all tied
Nice.
going into round 2. So we move into round number 2, which is called Same As, Same As. The teams get the same 5 questions, they write the answers down. If they are both correct, they get 1 point each, and if only one team is correct, that team gets 2 points. So here we go, question 1. The native name of which country translates to English as Eastern Realm? The native name of which country translates into English as Eastern Realm?
Oh, yeah. No, I got it.
That one or this one?
I don't think it's that.
Okay, let's do that one.
Okay.
Okay, question 2. The Sea of Marmara is surrounded by which country? The Sea of Marmara, M-A-R-M-A-R-A, is surrounded by which country?
I've never heard of it, so I don't have a
It
guess.
sounds familiar, but I'm just.
Ready for the next?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, question 3. The inaugural Rugby Union World Cup in 1987 was co-hosted by which 2 countries? The inaugural Rugby Union World Cup in 1987 was co-hosted by which 2 countries? You need both of them to get the points.
One of the big ones, right? Or I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, question 4. On the NATO phonetic alphabet, how is whiskey spelt? How is whiskey spelt on the NATO phonetic alphabet? A constant source of argumentation between Irish and Scottish people, but how is it spelled on the NATO phonetic alphabet?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's there, but
Okay, this is
I think this is how.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I am not. Okay.
And question 5, last question of the round. Which film features insect alien-like creatures derogatorily called prawns? Which film features insect alien-like creatures derogatorily called prawns? Okay, so let's get to the answers to round 2. So we'll start with Bike. Question 1. The native name of which country translates to English as Eastern Realm, you guys said?
Ostrich.
You said Austria, Ostrich, and Taxi, you guys
That
said?
makes sense.
It does.
It does make a lot of sense because it's in the native language rather than one we wrote.
What
Put
did you say?
Estonia.
Pardon?
Estonia.
You put Estonia. It is Austria or Österreich, which is somehow sounds a little bit like ostrich.
That was the It was like I was trying to connect back to the first
Yeah,
round,
I
and I'm
didn't
like,
even
what?
look at the connection stuff.
In the native
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
Okay, Team Taxi, Sea of Marmara, surrounded by which country, you guys said?
I think it's Turkey.
And you, Team Bike, you said?
I said Iran.
Iran, it is Turkey, well done.
Turkey.
2 points to Team Taxi. Team Bike, question 3, the inaugural Rugby Union World Cup 87, co-hosted by which 2 countries, you said?
Ireland and UK.
Ireland, UK, and Team Taxi, you said?
Australia and New Zealand.
It is Australia and
Damn it!
Yeah.
We went
The logic was
50-50
there, the
between
logic
Yeah,
the
we
two.
chose the
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah.
Team Taxi, the spelling of whiskey on the native phonetic alphabet, you guys said?
Without the E, so W-H-I-S-K-Y.
So only Y, and Team Bike, you said?
We said the
Same.
same thing.
Okay, you are both incorrect. It is EY, the Irish spelling, haha.
Okay, so I spelled it correctly.
You spelled it correctly, yeah.
okay,
I thought it was
That's okay,
without,
it's okay.
yeah.
I thought it would be like everything NATO, like America's like, we're gonna do it our way.
Bourbon.
It's the whiskey bourbon.
Okay, and Team Bike, which film features the insect-like creatures or alien creatures called prawns, you guys said?
District 9.
And Team Taxi, you said?
District 9.
That is a point and a point. You are both correct. It is District 9. So at the end of that round, Team Bike picked up 3. That puts you on to 10 points. Team Taxi picked up 5. That puts you on to 12.
Not so bad.
So we move into round number 3. This is a new round called Gimme 5. In this new round, teams are given a list-based category, and if they give the top of that list, they get 1 point. Second place on the list gets them 2, but the 5th place answer on the list will get them 5 points. However, any other answer will result in -2 for that team. These lists, the first 3 out of 4 are taken from Wikipedia. So are you going to take a safe bet and get 1, 2 or 3 points, or are you going to take the risk and try for 4 or 5 and risk -2? So there's 4 questions. So your first one, by population, a city in the United Kingdom. In terms of population, top 5. I have here cities in the UK by population. So name one of them.
So obviously these are the biggest ones.
Yeah.
So answer 1. The first on the list will get you 1 point, but the 5th on the list will get you
These
5.
are the top
Yeah.
3. Unfortunately, that's I don't know the next 2.
Okay, so your second Gimme 5. Longest rivers in the European Union. Now, that's when the majority of the river is in the European Union. Some of the river may go into bits of other countries, but as long as at least half the river is in the European Union, it is valid.
Okay,
So longest
so
rivers
we
in the
don't know
European Union. Okay, number 3, and this again is from Wikipedia. Best-selling albums of all time, certified sales. Best-selling music albums of all time, certified sales. This is taken from Wikipedia.
Including compilation.
It includes everything in the top 5, but that's anything in the top 5 is included.
Maybe this one.
Yeah, that's.
I hope that answers your question without
It might
giving too
have
much
gotten
away.
dethroned recently, but.
No, I'm not.
Okay, and your last Gimme 5, this is a bit different. This comes from a website called thetop10s.com. This time you will get 10 options and only 5 score points. They have all these top 10 lists from that website. This is somewhat subjective. So on their list for best smell in the world, I'll give you the 10 options, 5 score points. I'll read them alphabetically. So best smells in the world: bacon, barbecue, campfires, coffee, fresh air, freshly cut grass, fresh petrol, melted chocolate, rain, and vanilla. Now people do vote on this on the website.
Yeah.
So bacon, barbecue, campfires, coffee, fresh air, freshly cut grass, fresh petrol, melted chocolate, rain, vanilla. 5 of those score points.
Yeah, this for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because you said it even without
Yeah.
thinking of it, so I assume that's kind of like you must have got it from somewhere.
Okay, so let's get to the answers to round 3, starting with the UK city by population. Team Bike, which city did you say?
We said Manchester.
You went Manchester, and Team Taxi, you said?
Glasgow.
You went Glasgow. Well, the points would have gone for 1 point, Birmingham. For 2 points, Leeds. For 3 points, Manchester.
Yeah.
For 4 points, Glasgow. And the 5-pointer was Sheffield. Sheffield.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
London actually doesn't feature on that list
Because it's like the city's so
tiny
small,
little
yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, Team Taxi, longest rivers in the European Union, where at least half the river is in the EU. What river did you say?
We went very sort of political and said Rhine because, for obvious reasons, that we thought you would put that in.
Okay, well, I don't dig the rivers and control the length of the rivers in Europe personally.
But I know you'd be partial to a Rhine.
I am indeed. And Team Bike, what river did you go with?
We said Rhine as well.
Yeah.
Well, Danube, 1 point. Rhine is second, so you both get 2 points on that.
Okay, is Elba third?
Elba is third,
Okay.
Vistula fourth, and Tagus is fifth.
Tagus, okay.
Go for it.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, we were going to go for this one.
Were you
Because it
thinking
goes
of
all the way
Tagus?
through Spain, so it's pretty long.
Spain, Portugal.
Yeah, it starts in the
Yeah.
mountains and it goes all the way down to Portugal.
It
Yeah.
doesn't sound Spanish or Portuguese.
Okay. Team Bike, best-selling albums of all time, certified sales. Which album did you go for?
We went for a gift to our host as well, Appetite for Distraction.
Appetite for Destruction. And Team Taxi, you went with?
Back in Black.
You went Back in Black. Okay, well, in first place for 1 point, it would have been Michael Jackson's Thriller. Second place for 2 points is AC/DC's Back in Black.
Okay.
Eagles crazy.
3 points, The Bodyguard original soundtrack. 4 points, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. And as Danny just said, 5 points, Eagles' greatest hits.
Okay.
So
Eagles
minus-
hits,
minus 2
That was always
points.
up there.
Gone down. That used to be number one.
It was number one.
Minus 2 points there for Team Bike. Appetite, I think, is in the top 10, but not the top 5.
It should be in the top 5.
It should. And finally, Team Taxi, which smell did you go for?
We went bacon.
You went
because
bacon.
Because bacon.
And Team Bike, you went?
We went for grass.
You went for
Freshly cut
grass. Well, 1 point for fresh air, 2 points for vanilla, 3 points for barbecue. Why is vanilla so popular? I
Yeah,
don't
for
get
real,
it.
come on.
4 points for coffee and 5 points for campfires. So you each get a minus 2 on that. So at the end of that round, Team Bike in the end picked up 1 point. They're on 11. Team Taxi picked up 6. They are on 18. So a little bit of a gap opening up there.
Oops.
Okay, we move into round 4, which is more close enough. The teams get 5 questions where they're not expected to know the answers, but the team with the closest answer gets 2 points. If both teams have the same answer, they each get 2 points and a bonus third point if you get the answer bang on. Everyone ready to go?
Yeah.
I remember the days when I had lucky bang-ons.
Okay, why'd you look at me when you said that?
I don't know. It would be even weirder looking at my dress.
Come on, guys. It's still Saturday morning. Okay, question 1. What is the highest reliably measured running speed for ostriches obtained by speedometer reading when a car was chasing an ostrich? So this is the highest reliably measured running speed for an ostrich.
Did you chase an ostrich?
I know
obtained
it's
by
like...
speedometer.
Oh yeah, this would be miles.
In
for me.
kilometers
That's why
per
I'm thinking
hour.
out. I was thinking kilometers.
In-
Kilometers.
like-
I have no idea.
Do we? If we go over, do we?
Yeah.
So-
No, there's
He
no
wants in
going over.
kilometers. So do you
Yeah.
know the conversion?
Actually, well, I do have an answer in miles per hour here as well. So if you want, if it helps to write in miles per hour, you can answer in miles. We'll just convert it.
Okay.
In miles.
Yeah.
We'll convert it. So
Sounds
Fine,
good.
we'll
Yeah.
go with this.
okay. Okay, question 2. How many marginal seas are there within the Mediterranean Sea? How many marginal seas
So many.
are there within the Mediterranean Sea? Okay, question 4. In the list of rugby union world rankings for men's rugby, what position is the Czech Republic? In the list of rugby union world rankings for men, what position is the Czech Republic's international rugby union
Can we
team?
know how many places in total?
It probably goes into like at least to 100.
Oh, okay. So
I mean,
it's-
like
Yeah.
most teams, most countries have it, but it's not as well known, let's say, as the football one. Okay, question 4. In what year was the NATO phonetic alphabet adopted? The NATO phonetic alphabet was adopted in which year?
Because I think that's kind of like a
NATO
say-
itself is post World War II.
Yeah.
So I think we're safe there
Yeah.
after.
Okay, and question 5, last question of the round. Including the original series, crossovers, spin-offs, and Prometheus films, how many alien films are there in the canon? So including original series, crossovers, spin-offs, Prometheus films, how many alien films are there in the canon?
I don't know anything about this franchise, honestly.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I've not seen any
Okay,
of them.
so there's 4. Sorry.
Prometheus
Yeah.
films.
And then
Pardon?
there's
Prometheus films?
Prometheus.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
only
yeah,
became aware of
And
them when I
how many-
researched this question.
How many
It's
of
like
those are we guessing is the last
kind of,
piece of the puzzle?
I don't know what you'd call
Like the
it, really,
spin-offs and stuff.
maybe,
This would be the spin-off he's
Yeah,
referring
I don't
to,
know,
I
different
think.
monster or something like that. I honestly, I'm just guessing. Okay, everyone ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the answers to round number 4. Question 1, the highest reliably measured running speed for ostriches. Team Taxi, you guys said?
70 kilometers an hour.
70 kilometers an hour. And Team Bike, you said?
We said 48 miles per hour.
So you're saying 48 miles per hour?
Yeah.
That comes across as 77 kilometers. And you're answering kilometers?
70.
Again?
70.
Correct answer is 61. That is 2
Wow,
points to Team
okay.
Taxi. Team Bike, how many marginal C's in the Med? You guys said?
He said 12.
12. And Taxi?
13.
13. It's 15.
Oh!
2 points to
Dang!
Team Taxi. Team Taxi, the position of the Czech Republic's in the Rugby Union World Rankings for men, you guys said?
They can drink.
Yeah, we we originally went pretty high and then we started creeping it lower. We put 22 in the end.
22 and
21 in the end. Sorry, 21.
21 and Bike, you said?
30.
You said 30.
Yeah.
It is 34.
That's what we had. We said 36 to start
Finally,
with.
we needed a fucking
36 to start with, and then talked myself out of it.
Yeah.
Team Bike, NATO phonetic alphabet was adopted in which year? You guys said
1950.
50, and Team Taxi.
But 1948 because of.
It is 1956.
Yeah, it was later.
Yeah,
Okay.
later.
Well done,
I
Team
thought-
Bike.
yeah.
That's 2 points.
Good, like between 2 decades.
And Team Taxi, the number of Alien films, you guys said.
9.
And Team Bike, you said.
10.
It is 9.
Okay.
3 points, bang on the money. So at the end of that round, Team Bike picked up 4, they're on 15. Team Taxi picked up 7, they're on 25. Bit of a gap opening up there. Okay, we move into round number 5, which is a new round as well. This one is called Long Shot. In this round, each team has to estimate the distance in kilometers, though if you want to do it in miles, we can convert it, between 2 places. They can wager 1, 2 or 3 points on their guess being the closest. If they have the closest guess, they win that number of points. But if the other team has the closest guess, then you lose the number of points that you wager. The teams can choose how many points to wager after they hear the options. So you will get to hear the journey. And if it's a tie, you both win the points. These distances are calculated as a shortest route walking on Google Maps. So shortest, so as much as the crow flies as possible. So your first one, and you'll make the wager, make your estimate. We'll do that and get the points out of the way, then we'll do the second one. So first one, Prague to Vienna. Prague to Vienna, walking in kilometers. What's the distance? So you need to wager a number of points and also what you think the distance is.
Yeah.
But it's.
I
I think
I'm
that's by road. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah.
walking it's the same.
I'm not going to be much help this round, I'll be
Okay,
honest. Yeah,
I
like, it's...
Okay, so team Bike, how many points do you want to wager?
1 point.
1 point. And team Taxi, how many?
Also 1.
1 point, okay. Team Bike, what was your estimate?
We said 245.
245. And Team Taxi, you said?
We said 500.
It is 287. So 287
Okay.
kilometers, Prague to Vienna. So that
Yeah.
is 1 point
Yeah.
to Team
Okay,
Bike.
I thought. Okay, yeah.
Okay, again to the nearest kilometer. Here's the second one. From the Eiffel Tower to the Louvre. From the Eiffel Tower to the Louvre in Paris.
Okay.
I mean,
I actually
Right.
walked this the other day.
something
And
like
remember,
this, like,
if you both
not
have the
that
same
far,
answer,
Not that
you
far.
both get
I'm
the
just
points.
trying
So you could effectively earn a different amount of points for the same answer depending on your bravery. Have you guys been to Paris before?
I lived there for 8 months, so I'm just.
I actually walked that route basically last month. But how long it
But
took me,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I went to those 2 things on separate days from different directions, so I'm just like.
I did walk between them once. I spent
maybe
an
something
afternoon in
maybe
Paris between flights. Okay, so Team Taxi, how many points did you wager?
Okay. 2
Okay.
points.
2 points.
More than that.
Okay.
And Team Bike, how many points did you wager?
We'll wager 1 again.
Yeah, one.
1 point. And Team Taxi, your distance, you said?
Still a bit iffy about it. Yeah, I'll go with it. 4.5 kilometers.
4.5. And Team Bike, you said?
I said 1.8.
Well, okay, I did say to the nearest kilometre, so I'll do that again.
Okay.
To the nearest kilometre.
We're going to go 4 then.
You're going to say 4
No,
and you're going to
yeah,
say
2,
2. Okay, well, you're both correct. The answer is 3.3, so 3 is the answer. So you get
Oh.
2 points to Team Taxi and 1 point to Team Bike. Okay, your next journey. This takes you to London. From Arsenal Stadium to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. From Arsenal Stadium in London to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. There is something of a rivalry between...
Yeah, they're both North London, so
between
they're
these.
in the same kind of area, but they're not as close as Liverpool and Goodison.
No,
Yeah,
they're
I feel
literally
like
across the park.
Those are right across. It's not that close.
Okay, Team Bike, first of all, how many points are you going to wager on this?
Oh, only one. Okay.
Only one? No bravery even though you're losing? Okay.
Unfortunately, no.
Team Taxi?
We're wagering one.
You're going to wager one as well. And Team Bike, what was your estimate, you guys said?
5.
5. And
Yes.
Team Taxi, you said?
6.
It is 6. It is 6.4 kilometers. So that is
1 point.
1 point to Team Taxi. Okay, your penultimate journey from the Empire State Building to Yankee Stadium in New York. From the Empire State Building to Yankee Stadium.
I don't like these questions. I don't.
Yankee Stadium is not in Manhattan. That's in a different borough.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Okay, so Team Taxi, how many are you going to wager?
1.
1. And Team Bike, how many?
1.
1. Boring. And Team Taxi, what was your estimate of distance?
With 13.
13 kilometers. And Team Bike?
16.
16 kilometers. It is 10.6 kilometers.
Okay.
Another point to Team Taxi. And the last journey, and I did not know who would be on this episode when I wrote this script.
Yeah, right.
From Canberra to Sydney. From Canberra to Sydney in Australia. Have you ever done that journey?
Yeah.
Walking?
Canberra's no, not walking.
I'm not even kidding. I did not know that there would be an Australian on the episode when I wrote this. Okay, so Team Bike, how many points are you going to wager?
1.
One! Woo!
And Team Taxi?
We're going to go 2.
You're going to go 2. Okay, and Team Bike, your estimate?
300 kilometers.
300 kilometers. And Team Taxi?
380. But
380?
It could be close to that.
It is 305. Well done, Team Bike. You picked up that much.
We got it.
Yeah, sure.
So at the end of that round, including points gained and the minus points, which we just worked out, Team Bike and Team Taxi each picked up 1 point. So all that work for almost nothing. Team Bike now on 16, Team Taxi on 26 going into the final round, 22 points on offer.
If you would like to support the podcast, you can do so on buymeacoffee.com. It will help buy more equipment so we can make the podcast even better. You can support either once or as a regular member. Everyone who supports will get a shout out on the podcast, and regular members will get access to the first never before heard pilot and will be invited to take part in an episode. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, we can make it happen online. You can find the Buy Me a Coffee link and contact details for the pod on the show notes, or search for Inquizition Pod on buymeacoffee.com. Thank you. Now back to the show.
Okay, we move into round number 6, which is grab the type of transport, so either bike or taxi. The teams are given 11 questions. The first person to shout the name of their team gets to answer, 2 points for a correct answer. If they're wrong or take too long, it goes back and forth and see if we can get a correct answer, no minus points. If you call out mid-question, I may stop and expect you to answer mid-question as well. Everybody ready?
Yes.
So question number 1, which international rugby team plays their home games at Lansdowne Road?
Taxi.
Taxi.
Ireland.
It is Ireland, that's 2 points. Question number 2, which bird lays the largest eggs?
Taxi.
Taxi, Joel.
Ostrich.
It is the ostrich, 2 points to Team Taxi. Question number 3, on the NATO phonetic alphabet, which is the 8th word?
Taxi.
Taxi?
Hotel.
It is hotel, 2 points to Team Taxi. Question number 4, how many letters in the word Mediterranean? Question 4, how many letters in the word Mediterranean?
Bike.
Yep.
10.
10, incorrect. Team Taxi is yours. For about 10 seconds exclusively.
11.
Yeah?
11.
Incorrect. Team Bike, yours for about 10 seconds.
12.
No.
9.
No.
13.
It is 13. 2 points to
Wrong way.
Yeah.
2 points to Team
I didn't want to
Bike.
write it down. I just said what I thought. Yeah.
Question 5, in which New York City borough is Yankee Stadium?
Taxi.
Taxi.
Queens.
No.
Brooklyn.
No. Team Taxi, yours for...
Staten Island.
No. Team Bike,
Bronx.
yours. It is the Bronx. It is in the Bronx.
I was one of the bees.
Yeah, I know nothing about it. Yeah.
Question number 5, in which decade was the film Alien released?
Bike.
1960.
80s?
No.
1970s.
It was
79,
1970s.
yeah.
1979.
I should have let you go, yeah.
Question 7. What's the capital city of Australia?
Like, it was Taxi first.
I did
heard,
hear Taxi
yeah.
first, yeah.
Canberra.
It is Canberra from the American on that team. Question 8. What is the native name for Austria?
Bike.
Bike.
Österreich.
Österreich, well done. Question number 9. Which band released the album Back and Back? Taxi.
AC/DC.
It is AC/DC. That is 2 points. Question number 10. Which team won the 2024-25 English Premier League? Bike.
Liverpool.
It was Liverpool. Very good. And final question. And you need all of this correct to get the points. So if you fluff it, it will get passed over. Using the NATO phonetic alphabet, spell the word quiz.
Yeah, that's cute.
Taxi.
Yep.
It's Quebec. Is it?
India.
Only Danny. You call it only Danny.
You. So it's.
Okay, too slow. Team Bike, it's open to you for about 10 seconds exclusively. Spell the word quiz using the NATO phonetic alphabet.
The middle one I don't know.
Okay, open to all teams. Open to both teams. Anyone?
Oh, I know. Bike.
Bike?
Quebec, Utah, India, Zulu.
No, one is wrong.
Quebec.
It's not Utah.
I don't think it's
No.
India's.
So it is the U that we're missing.
Yeah.
Quebec, India, Zulu are correct. Anyone have an idea for the U?
Quiz. Uniform.
Again?
Uniform.
It is uniform. 2
yeah,
points to Team Taxi. So at the end of that round, Team Bike picked up 8. That they finished on 24. Team Taxi picked up 14. They finished on 40 points. So Amanda and Tejas, thank you very much for taking part. A fine effort, but it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
And to Danny and Joel, you are this episode's masters of the Inquisition. Well done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for going on that quiz journey with us, and thank you everyone for listening. The Inquisition will be back in 2 weeks' time. So thank you. Take care and goodbye.
Bye.
Croatia.
I said Italy. We'll go mild on this one. Germany.
Your favorite, Andorra.
Dublin.
Ginger Rogers.
It wouldn't be my guess.
1 save point.
Now we feast.
The Inquisition.
Usually, my favorite transport is a funicular, but I'm not going to yell that today.
Yeah, I think we need something that's easy
Like
to
weird words, don't they?
Sure.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, even like surnames in American drama series, comedy series, they're always very complicated.
Yeah.
But taxi. It's a good.
Taxi.
Oh, that's-
Strong.
Yeah, I like that.
strong sound.
I like that.
Taxi.
Not just car.
Car. I like that too. Can I do it in
Car.
Australian?
Car.
Or you could pretend
Bar.
to be from Boston.
You want a taxi? Taxi's good because it's easy to remember.
Taxi.
I'm not going to have to look it up.
Okay, and you guys?
Bike.
What are the top 5 again?
Fresh air,
Fresh air, please.
vanilla.
Who's
Well,
sniffing vanilla?
In fairness, if you
Goddamn hippies.
Yeah.
if you live in India or China, fresh air is something that might be a lot more appreciated than
yeah.
if you live up in the Alps.
Vanilla has consistently come like number 1 in lots of lists of men's favorite smells, and
Interesting.
the list of women's favorite smells has consistently been lavender.
Yeah, bacon, barbecue, and fire the same.
Yeah.
You know who's probably answering these questions? The vegan lobby.
Goddamn hippies.
Yeah, because bacon. Like even like my sister's a vegetarian, but she still says like she still loves the smell of bacon.
This came out of his mouth like this. He's like,
Yeah.
bacon.
I was surprised. And actually, I worked in a gas station before. The smell of fresh petrol is pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's a good pungent smell.
I thought rain would be up higher. Yeah.
Not in Ireland. We're sick of the smell of rain.
True. Okay, fair.
You know what's interesting? You guys got the long distance ones, and we got the short distance ones.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Not really. I think you got the.
No. You got the first one
Yeah, and the last one.
and the last one, and those were both like.
They were the longest. Yeah.
I was hoping teams would start betting more.
Yeah, no. Well,
Yeah.
these guys are the ones who were risking.
Yeah.
We weren't going to risk anything. We
No.
risked a bit in the last one, and that
Yeah.
kicked us.
We
yeah.
risked it. We risked too.
Yeah, twice we risked it.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I never did the minus points.
Yeah, that's why we weren't risking anything because we didn't want to lose points.
Yeah.
What do you think about that round?
It was interesting.
It was
I
good,
don't, I
yeah.
don't like
It's just-
this. I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't like
I think-
distances. I don't like gambling.
I think the only thing is
I
like,
don't mind the gambling.
I don't like gambling in quiz.
if
This
the
is a
if the
principle
scores
of
were
mine.
closer, then it might have been a bit more because we were just like we were too behind and we didn't want to risk anything.
Yeah, exactly. The negative points
Yeah,
were not like it was no
yeah.
way we were gonna bet more than one to lose
Yeah,
points like
yeah.
that. Yeah.